Well, hello there. It's been a while since I recorded a video for this channel, and especially about this Strangetown. I have unlisted my first two videos about this neighborhood because, frankly, they were kind of terrible. I decided to already share what's on my mind because I have which is fine. They were my first videos, I believe. This Strangetown is 16 years into the future from the beginning of the game. It is worth mentioning that I don't really play this game like usually people do, so rotationally, right? With aging turned on and everything. I like to just kind of go with whatever I feel like doing. I also play this game with aging turned off. I calculate passage of time manually, so aging is usually turned off on lots. Sometimes I turn it on because there are bugs, but well, let's start actually by me showing you some... Oh, this thing changed locations, that worries me. Here, I usually put screenshots of the neighborhood. So this is the Strangetown like 5 years into the future. Like, the quality of this screenshot is shitty. But some things are visible, so it's fine. This is a very recent screenshot of the town. And there's a whole description. Basically, I'm just going to talk about everything I have written down here. So, there's no real need to read all of that, so I won't. I think I'm going to start with... maybe with the Smith family, actually. I usually even start playing with them whenever I start. We can say a new round, but it's not like usually people do so. And the description of this family, because I do write new descriptions. Even for Sims sometimes, but it depends. A few pre-made Sims have new descriptions, but I will tell you that when I get to them. So anyways, the description reads: Pollination Technician 9 has passed on, and his wife Jenny is heartbroken. Her husband has left such a positive impact on everyone, she feels guilty for wanting to move on and find love again. Will this heartbreak keep her from pursuing her newfound love? Would her late husband truly want that for her? So let's jump into the household. They're eating dinner together. As you can see, they have some money.
Holy fucking smokes!
They ended up being like one of my, if not the richest family in this entire neighborhood. Like I mentioned before that this is not my most recent save. In the most recent save, they have like 100,000 at this point. Because Buck found some fibers near the spaceship in Strangetown, and he sold it, and now they're rich. Yeah, he got 15,000 simoleons for that. Holy shit. At this point in time, he's not employed because I had some trouble finding him his job, because his lifetime want is to become ecological guru, so that's the top of the natural science career. So yeah, I did find him that job, obviously, as I said before. But for now, he's unemployed. On the other hand, Jill is employed, and she got level 7 career straight away. So that's nice. They went to college, as you can see. They went to college together, actually. Because their story, basically, is that they are... Whoop. Lags. Jesus. They are like childhood sweethearts. That's nice. Yeah. Maybe, since everything is distracting me, I'll mention Colonydron first. Because Jenny has a boyfriend. Yeah. Which might surprise you, since the love of her life was Pollination Technician. Well, Pollination Technician died like 4 years ago at this point, so it's been a while. I know that some people in general, not just old people, but some people don't start romantic relationships at all after losing their spouse. But Jenny found someone. That someone being my original character, I guess. I'll get to his story later. Jenny is 55 at this point in time. Buck and Jill, both of them, are 24. And there's the additional member that you haven't seen yet of the family who's sleeping in the wrong bed. Jesus Christ. Yeah, his name is Jonathan. I'll get to him in a while. They were childhood sweethearts. They met in childhood. They had a very sweet relationship. Like, one of those perfect relationships, They love each other so much, and they never have any major difficulties, I guess, with their relationship, and it's just a stable anchor in their life. And that plot point even influenced who Jill became at the end, because she has, if you didn't know, she has a hidden popularity token in her character data, and I ended up giving her a secondary aspiration family instead, because her first and foremost aspiration is knowledge. That's something that I always wanted to give her. She wants to become an oceanographer, I guess, if that's the word. She has a thing for like the deep sea animals. Both of them, in fact, Jill and Buck, are into animals. Like even in their bio, like Buck. I changed Buck's bio. I'll read it later because I need to follow what I was talking about. Because I constantly forget, because everything distracts me. That's why the gameplay is paused, by the way. I cannot handle that right now. I need to collect my thoughts. Both of them have a lot of interest in the environment. They both have the knowledge aspiration. They are like environmental scientists. They have solar panels. Like in the future save, they have even more solar panels. That's their thing. Like the Curious Brothers are like scientists in terms of stars and like the occult and stuff. And they are more like down-to-earth natural scientists duo. That's their story. They both graduated biology with honors. Graduated with honors, yeah. They both graduated with honors. Another reason why they are so rich is because Pollination Technician had like a lot of money saved for his family. She has one bolt of chemistry with her new boyfriend. Colonydron, he accepts that, He's not trying to replace Pollination Technician. He's just, there because he loves Jenny. They love each other. And nobody is trying to, one-up anybody and all of that. Hey, it's the editing me from the future. I just wanna make it clear that what I meant by saying that, Jenny has one bolt with Colonydron and all is not that Jenny doesn't respect Colonydron, but that she doesn't see anyone as close to her heart as she will always see her husband who passed away. So I think it's reasonable, but I might be mistaken. It's just, Colonydron respects the fact that Jenny kind of feels like her heart will forever belong to Pollination Technician, Even though she still loves Colonydron independently from her ex-husband. Okay, back to the video. Back teaching Jill the science behind slaying at the clothing store?
Huh?
This interaction made me laugh. Ooh, this is Jenny thinking about romance and her future partner just sitting there. Ooh. They didn't meet at the time, but it was destined to happen and all of that. Jonathan and his friend, I should probably mention more about Jonathan because I didn't do that. I'll also explain why he looks so weird later. Buck's secondary aspiration is grilled cheese. I like to think that he's just a simple man, Jonathan was conceived on Johnny's birthday party, actually. Gordon not. He's Jonathan's best friend. An online best friend, because a fun thing that happened is that he brought him home, but it turned out that he can only invite him over to stay in his house for a few days. I think he's a bon voyage townie, I think. That's my guess. But I think that's actually fitting, because Jonathan is very shy. He's not the shyest, but he is pretty shy, so it makes sense why he would have friends through the internet, and he doesn't really know that many people. He never invites anybody from school. He doesn't really have that many friends. He met him in high school, actually. He never had any other friends than his family and his bird, and that's enough. Oh jeez. That's enough for him, yeah. His true hobby is tinkering. He also likes nature because he's playing with this damn bird all of the time because he likes animals. Jonathan loves two things in life: cars and colorful looking birds. He dreams of opening his own car shop one day. And yeah, he has the fortune aspiration, despite of the fact that he is not interested in money in the slightest. Don't ask, I don't know. Jonathan is also one of the few Sims who also look good in just Max's stuff. like not modded clothing, which is a good thing because finding CC for teenage boys is a pain. I consider Jonathan a raw ace. He's never gonna be partnered up, which is a good thing. Because yeah, yeah. You might have noticed that yeah. So the less Sims reproducing, the better, honestly. But it's not just because I don't want him to reproduce. I just view him as ROIs. It's nice to have some LGBT Sims in your neighborhood. I have some, so that's good. He's gonna move in, Gordon not, to Strangetown. Like, they are going to go to college together because he wants to go to college. And they are gonna move in here together, not to this house, but to Strangetown. And they are gonna live together, have that car shop opened together. And that's how his story going to go. At least for now, that's what I think. He's a teacher aide. I imagine that he's not really employed, so to speak, but he like helps around at school because he also likes school a lot. He likes work less, he likes school a lot. So I figured he'd like to help around in school. He's also a really good student, so I still use Pleasant Sims secondary aspiration calculator. She even mentioned at some point that it's best to use that when their personalities develop, when they are adults, but it's not something that I have to do, right? I can give him whatever aspiration secondary I think he should have. And I am thinking that he's going to have a pleasure aspiration. That's what I think for him. Jenny tried to continue a bit of the pollination technician's traditions in being a gardener because he actually had a silver badge in gardening and he loved gardening. It reminds her of him. These two are going to have a wedding here. He's going to take on actually the Smith name because I think it makes more sense. His family is interesting. I'll get to that later. Not now. The story is really interesting. I enjoy talking about it, but I have other things to do and talk about. Just also wanted to mention before anything, I have kind of extended this town. Like, there are some new apartments. This one is just kind of decorative at the moment. Like, it's a more expensive one. I will move someone into these apartments at some point, but for now it's just, townies live there, whatever. Here I have more Sims, but yeah. The second household we are going to get into will be the next Smith household. I didn't show you connections before, especially people who are related to the Curious family know pretty much everyone, or are at least connected to pretty much everyone in the town. So their description goes as follows. A very uncommon family dynamic, and the family is only getting larger. While Ripp still enjoys dating around, Johnny is content with staying with just Ophelia. The three partners sure did have their fair share of challenges in life, but now things are definitely looking up. I kind of don't like this description that much, honestly. I think I could have written more, but to be honest, I kind of didn't know where to go with this family at the time of this save being created, because I'm actually a little bit more ahead in my playthrough than what you're seeing right now. This is very recent anyways, just I didn't have any idea for this family, but we're gonna get to that when I jump into the household. Let's unpause that. This is a very peculiar house. It's not something that I built or downloaded. It's from the houses bin, the houses that you get with the game. Slightly modified, because this family is fucking huge. Buck lived with them, actually, for a while. It had to be even bigger than it usually is. You might be asking yourselves, why Ripp and Buck lived with Johnny and Ophelia? And I mean, Ripp, you know why Ripp lives with them. Because he's in a relationship with Ophelia, so yes, he lives with her. But you might be wondering why Buck lived with them, since he was a teenager. And the reason Buzz died maybe a year after the start of the game, so yeah, I didn't let him live that long. You might also be wondering why aren't the brothers connected in the family tree? That is another thing that happened. For some reason, I have this weird bug in my game where Buck's family relationships constantly reset. So he not only stops considering his brothers as his brothers. I mean, well, it's not really a part of this bug. That's something that I did by accident, because I tried to fix it multiple times with the cheat objects like Inseminator and stuff, but it didn't help that much. And all it really did was sever them in the family tree for some reason, but as you can see, for now they are family and they know each other, so that's awesome. I hope this stays this way. This Tank named his son Boss Grunt, so General Boss Grunt is the father. Olive got to him basically. What the
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
This guy keeps coming into the house, doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Like, I did try to tell him to leave, he will not. Apparently he has beef with Ophelia. What's going on? Is that a game feature? That vampires just let themselves into the house when they dislike you? I don't know. Anyways, I was talking about, I will now show you a a very poorly done photo with my phone that I took when General Boss Grunt died in Olive's motive deprivation room. Let's just say. Olive managed to lower General Boss's guard enough that she was able to just capture and kill him. Poor Ophelia probably heard the screams coming from that room for days. For weeks before he died of starvation. He basically went missing, and then their family kind of fell apart from there. I mean, Ripp is thriving. I don't think he lost platinum aspirations since his father died, so I will get to that more when I get to Tank. His nose is peculiar, let's just say. He inherited that from his father. Johnny wants to become Hall of Famer. That's about it. Like, he's a simple man, you know? While both Ophelia and Ripp are polyamorous. Ophelia has 3 partners right now, like romantic partners, not just sex partners. And Ripp has Ophelia, and then a lot of girls he just, has casual relations with. That's kind of how he is. His heart belongs only to Ophelia, really, but he enjoys just kind of meeting girls and kissing girls and doing whatever the fuck with girls. Her girlfriend, Yusun, Todd, who she met in college, she doesn't live with them. Their relationship is like more casual, but they are still in the relationship, so they are all in a band together, by the way. Like, Ophelia got into playing bass in college. They all have their true hobby in music and dance. Johnny plays the drums, Ophelia plays the bass, and, well, Ripp used to be a singer, but he has a want to earn 10,000 by playing an instrument, like in tips. So I had to change that to guitar, because you can't earn money while singing, so for some reason. I'm really curious if that's intentional, because that's fucking weird. Ophelia is actually a teacher. She doesn't really care about working that much. Ajax. I'm gonna talk about Ajax now. His one true hobby is nature, something that I should really take care of, by the way. But he also likes music and dance, and my plan with him is that he's gonna be a dancer, and he's gonna have a rivalry, the fucking hard word, you know. He's gonna be a rival of Boss Grunt. By the way, I'm spoilering, so I shouldn't have clicked on that. He's gonna be a rival with the Grunt kid. His father and Tank were rivals, but unlike his father and Tank, these two are gonna fall in love. That's the plan, enemies to lovers. If you think that's weird, maybe. Ajax isn't Ripp's son. He is technically, like, in terms of family dynamics, right? But not in terms of blood. Lysander is related to Ripp, so she has a memory of getting married to Johnny, but they are not married right now. I severed that connection. By the way, do they not have any bolts of attraction? That's interesting. She went to college. Johnny is someone who likes throwing parties, so I imagine he would continue Pollination Technician's legacy of throwing a lot of family reunions. I forgot to mention, by the way, that their band is called Strangetown. I'm planning on making them perform as a band on the town, like on some community lot. Like Ripp, in my most recent saves, like he bought a whole community lot. And I'm planning to just perform there as a band. You might have seen that he has a kid with Chloe. Her name is Daisy. He doesn't know that he has a child with Chloe. Like, even Chloe doesn't know that it's his. I have no plans for this kid, which is reasonable since he's a toddler. Like, he's 4 years old at this point. Speaking of, I forgot to mention their ages. Johnny is 34.
Ajax.
Is 10. Ophelia is psychology, right? She graduated in psychology. Jesus. Okay, did that work? Yes? Question mark? I was saying, by the way, that Ophelia is 33 years old. Ripp is 31. Yeah, Lysander is 4. Okay, I think this is all. So we're gonna move on now. I think we should go and touch on some drama this time. So let's go to the Cooke family. They also know a lot of people in this town. Not as much as like the Smiths. I mean, actually maybe it's a similar number of people. Yeah, this is Julian Cooke. He might look a little bit different because everybody has some CC on in this neighborhood. Unless, like, some Sims might not, but mostly Sims do have CC on. Yeah, I gave him kind of a goofy outfit. Their description says, after a huge fight at one of Julian's parties, Erin decided to end things with her ex-husband Tank. Dun dun dun. Even though he was very obsessive and aggressive, she can't stop thinking about how she could have handled things better herself. Should she blame herself? Or was Tank just too unreachable? And how will young Buzz feel about all of this now? And when he's old enough, oopsie, to understand more. So yeah, this is like the first household with a little bit of drama within it. We'll get to that when I get into the household. Yes, I decided to move Julian Cooke in. In my mind, at least, he was always kind of a quirky individual. I don't even know what kind of beard this is. Like evil villain master chef. So well, I figured he'd fit right in to this neighborhood. So I moved him in. He met Erin when she was still in a relationship with Tank, because she married Tank Grunt, actually. You might have known that before, but yes. He immediately fell in love. Oh, that's him and his business. Yeah, cooking competitions, learning how to cook, cooking. The man grills his girl ribs. Tank could never. I agree, Tank could never. Well, right. Oh, that's the party. Party time. And what's this? Tank continues his habit of stalking his wife and crashing parties he wasn't invited to. I will mention that stalking his wife part a little bit later. He started fighting with Julian. Yeah. Erin got really mad and she basically, I am in love with another. Dramatic zoom in. Dramatic sound effect. Drama. That's what happened. In front of all her friends and her husband. She just kissed him because she had enough of Tank's behavior. Here I just described how the polyamory mod breaks cheating completely. Something that I didn't know. It even breaks cheating when two people are married, which is something I read shouldn't happen, but it happened still, so I just had to manually do that. But that's fine. I don't mind really. Here's a screenshot of Erin taking the kid with her, and the rest of it is just, yeah, that's the other kid. By the way, that's Corinne. I also kind of have plans for her. I want her to, like, kind of be a lot like her father. That's basically the plan. But we'll see. Erin is sleeping, which is a shame, because she's actually very, very, very stunning. So I want to show her outfit and everything. Yeah, that's Erin. Like, she's gorgeous. That dress really suits her. She had a very, like, beige look going on. That's mostly to show how, like, she was unhappy in her marriage, sorta. Like, she was forced to forsake all the colors in her life. I actually like to think that Tank wasn't the only person to blame, really, in all of this. Erin had her moments, let's just say, but Tank has, like, 70 to 80% of the blame on him. Like, he was stalking her, he was aggressive. Something about this neighborhood is that everybody is fucking super nice Like, look at this kid. That's how most personalities look in this town. I don't know why. Like, I don't mind that much because I like the Sims, but it's nice to have less nice Sims sometimes. Anyways, I also changed her bio. I usually forget to read their bios, so here I go, reading her bio. Erin feels much better by Julian's side. She's finally able to pursue her culinary passions with a lover who understands her, but ghosts of the past still haunt her dreams. So yeah, she feels quite guilty about how all of this turned out, which she shouldn't really, to be honest, but that's kind of her story, you know. She does feel guilty for, like, because she cheated on Tank, right? Had an affair with Julian, and it's a positive memory. Her marriage to Tank was kind of miserable. Like, they loved each other, but Tank is emotionally unavailable, let's just say. Like, he got even worse after his father disappeared. So moving on to the little guy, Buzz Grant. He was named, like, he even looks a lot like Buzz Grant. When you look at his face, you can see Buzz's kind of tired expression on him. Buzz has interest in music and dance. Like, it's his one true hobby. Ajax still likes music and dance, even though it's not his true hobby. Like, I don't think that your job has to be like your one true hobby. Like, it can be just some hobby, you know, or not a hobby at all. But you know, it's preferable if it is a hobby. He's gonna become a dancer. And an interesting thing I've been thinking about: Buzz heard all sorts of cool stories about his grandfather from his dad. He also feels some pressure from his dad's side to become a cool military general just like him. But all
he ever really
wanted to do was dance. And I've been thinking something weird, that the way he honors his family legacy, that, by the way, he's proud of. The way he honors, like, his grandfather's legacy and his family history is through music and dance. Like, he's gonna reenact his father's brave displays of military service to the country through his dance performances, basically. How could that work? Like, in The Sims, not at all. But in terms of story, it's an interesting idea, in my opinion. Outside of that, I'm thinking that maybe later on in life he's gonna have a little bit of a worse relationship with Erin. Because Tank, I already have a plan that he's not going to handle that very well. Like, he had too many tragedies in his life, you know. Buzz is going to be a little bit angry at his mother for that. Like, again, I'm not saying that Erin is in the wrong here for living a toxic relationship where her husband was basically, like, emotionally abusive and was stalking her and was doing all of these bad things to her. What I am saying is that people can have different points of views and opinions on situations. What Buzz will see a little bit is that he's angry at his mom for, like, cheating on his dad. But at the same time, he wants to become friends with Julian, which I find really sweet. And he's a nice kid, so I don't know. Maybe everything will turn out well, which I am kind of angry about, you know. Because as I said before, everybody in this neighborhood is nice. So nice. Oh my god. Please, have some drama. Oh, they're hanging out through the table. Okay. Erin is a dishwasher level 1. Like, she just started her career. She's 36, by the way, so she started late. She probably won't get to the top of the culinary career. Like, it would be nice if some Sims didn't fulfill their aspirations. Maybe because they started too late, for example. Or something. Because their life wasn't the best. Like, not everybody's life has to be the best, please. Julian is unemployed, but that's because he has his own business that I would love to show you. But the problem with my recording program is that it crashes when I load into another lot. Like, it doesn't really work that way with other games, but for some reason with The Sims 2, it's kind of wonky like that, so I'd rather not travel to another lot while I'm recording. Maybe I will show you, like, screenshots, or I will record more, but so yeah, basically that's really pretty much it, honestly. We can move on. These sections are really long. I'm worried that this video is going to get really, really long. Next. It is only natural to go to Tank. Tank does know some Sims. He has connections to way less Sims than usual, which is quite ironic because he's a popularity Sim. Now that Tank lost his wife, who moved out with their son Buzz to a local chef? Yeah, Julian Cooke. Will Tank be able to get his life together after another tragedy? Or will this be just too much for him to handle this time? Let's get into that. Now we have visited Tank, who is living alone again. He looks happy. You know this meme when woman leave man, man happy. Then year pass, man sad. When man leave woman, woman sad, so sad. Then woman happy 1 year after. This is what happening here, I guess. Your wife just left you, but go off. I think what I should be starting from. I occasionally like to change my Sims' personalities when I feel it fits. And with Tank it fits, because he went through a very large amount of trauma. Tank attacking Johnny at Ripp's birthday party, because he came from work early. He continues his tradition of entering parties when he wasn't invited to them. Ripp slaps the living shit out of his dumbest brother for fucking everything up like always. Yes, birthday party brawl. For some reason, also Ripp won. And if you're wondering why the ceiling isn't on, well, I might show you. Like, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Like, the walls sometimes aren't up. That's because I'm stupid or lazy. But the ceiling, like, the ceiling just doesn't work. Like, I don't have ceiling on, I know. But, no, I toggle ceiling. Okay, it works. That's unfair. I look crazy now. Like, I swear to fucking God, I would press that button and nothing happened. And now that I'm recording, something happens. Okay, well, you will just have to believe me that this didn't work before. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. Ripp beat his ass. Then Ripp immediately moved out with his brother. Ripp essentially had to struggle, kind of, to, like, keep his brother well fed and stuff after their father died. Tank was in the military, but he kind of wasn't thinking about anybody else but himself at that point. So basically everything was on Ripp's shoulders, essentially. Ripp rolled a wand to go to college. He never went to college because, yeah, he had to give his brother a good life. So that's a very nice storyline, I think. I mean, it's fucking tragic, but, you know, Ripp is a good dude for doing that. In the zone, focused, unbothered, better than you, work, promotion, money, fame. Tank, despite his awful displays of racism and violence, and complete loss of any positive relationships with his family, has gained fame and seems to be very pleased with himself. He's a little bit less liked now, and this is going to get worse probably. But yeah, he used to be a huge celebrity for some reason. Oh, aging is turned on. Probably because there was a kid on this lot. The homework disappeared, but there was a kid on this lot. And there's a bug where... I mean, is it a bug, really? I don't know, but... because, you know, aging isn't supposed to be turned off, but sometimes, even all the time, in my case, kids, their grades don't change when aging is turned off, so I had to turn it on. So yeah, that's why it's turned on here. Be friends with Julian. Jesus. The ones of these Sims doesn't make my job of making their lives miserable any fucking better. Like, he just caught this dude kissing his wife, and he wants to be friends with him? Okay. Like, you are so nice. Thank you. You're so sweet, but please don't be. About General Boss Grunt. Tank, obviously, he already had mental health issues because he's a mess. He has always been a mess. Like, he wanted to impress daddy and everything. General Boss's disappearance has affected him greatly. And, like, everything that could have been wrong with Tank, that he's mean, that he's aggressive, things that used to be kind of manageable with him became really apparent when his father disappeared. Like, he just became kind of the worst man he could be. Unfortunately, that's sort of what trauma does sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. His secondary aspiration, actually, is fortune. And basically what he's doing now, he's trying to fill the void in his heart with, like, money and fame. I didn't even finish looking through these memories because that reminded me of something, actually. Yeah, let me finish that. Oh my god, dude, stop. Yeah, he was thinking about himself while fucking his girlfriend. They also had sex in the car like 6 times, okay. That's them discussing in the car. Probably after fucking again. That Erin is pregnant because she... By the way, that was young Erin. They got married immediately after she got pregnant. And Ripp actually came to his brother's wedding. So that's nice. And there's that whole plot point with... Oh, Tank seems to have not changed well enough. Will fame be more important to him than family? Shocked face. He was also more concerned with other women at his own wedding. That's a funny one. He just randomly put him on the ground and started crying. Like, I don't know what caused that, honestly, because that was like years after everything occurred in his life. Ripp tried to mend bridges. Tank never really put enough work into that. Like, Tank also kind of wanted to do that because he always wanted to apologize to Ripp. He would roll once for that. He really couldn't bring himself to be a better guy than he is. I love when this happens because there was that entire thing that actually Tank would follow his wife around a lot. Like, I don't know if that's just because, I don't know, some Sims spawn on community lots more than others or something. But whenever Erin would leave the house, he would always be there. So yeah, that's why I talked about him stalking his wife before. That's them arguing. Another thing about him is that he loves his kid. Like, it's not like General Buzz situation where, you know, he just kind of had to have kids because, you know, traditional gender roles. He really deeply loves his son. So that's a good thing about him. Out of all of the bad things about him. And here is just to show that, you know, Erin wasn't a neglectful parent or anything. That's another note from me. Maybe she's thinking he's probably cheating on her too. Even though he would never actually do it, he's extremely loyal when someone actually likes him. To the point he gets extremely controlling. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I imagine that he didn't stalk his wife and, you know, was aggressive to her, like verbally abusive, because he hated her or he wanted to see her suffer. It's just because that's kind of how his father showed he cared. Like, he was very demanding, very controlling. That's the same thing Tank is doing because that's what he's thinking love is. But yeah, that's how she justified her actions, so that's why she was a little bit in the wrong in this situation, but not really that much. In my opinion, that's what we already seen. That's the beauty of The Sims, right? Like, if I shared that family somewhere, like, you could form your own opinions on this story, right? Like, if you think maybe Erin is still in the wrong and she kind of deserves some karma for what happened, right? Or maybe you think that Erin is an angel and she didn't do anything wrong and, you know, Tank is an asshole, evil, he deserves to die, whatever you think. Maybe something in between, like a normal person. Oh, the party aftermath. In front of their fucking kid. The kid losing aspiration points. He regained them very quickly. Like, she couldn't stop crying after what happened. My plan is that he's going to kind of counteract the trauma by going to parties and, like, hooking up with everyone and, you know, being a disaster. He's gonna probably be kicked out of his career and lose everything. That's the plan. Tank is 32 right now, at this point in the story. Julian Cooke, he's 34. He's the same age as Johnny Smith. Buzz Grunt, so his kid, is 12. Corinne, who's the little Cooke baby, is 2 years old at that point. So yes, we are moving on now. AJ is a bit red right now. Something's wrong with this house, because Sims get overheated there a lot. This is a nice house from the gallery. It's not The Sims 4. But it's a house from The Sims Resource, yes. Some of these houses are from The Sims Resource. Some of them, maybe visibly, have been made by myself. based on some references. So, the business owner life has not worked out for AJ as well as he has expected. He isn't the biggest fan of his corporate job, but he loves the money. And now that he doesn't have to juggle so many responsibilities at once, he finally has more time than ever for his loving wife and children. Yeah, they don't know many people. That's kind of also the plot point in their story. Because the whole thing with this family was that AJ and Kristen kind of had different ideas for life. And Kristen, even in her bio, had that she's not really interested in this town. AJ used to be very interested in this town, but he kind of wanted to go do bigger things. And Kristen wanted to stay here because she made some friends, mostly her old roommates, that I will get mostly to next. Basically, it was about AJ choosing if he prefers family life over his career ambitions. Now this plot point is kind of resolved. Let's not spend this entire time on the neighborhood screen, maybe. So this is the loner family. AJ is currently overheating. Because I think something's wrong with this house. It's a very cool looking house. They made a lot of money. So now they can afford something like that. Before AJ lived in his little tent, I will show you another beautifully taken picture from my phone on the screen with that. His kids look interesting. Like, look at those faces. I'm really curious how they are going to look when they grow up. Kristen is at work, yeah. These two got together. I don't see people getting them together. I just figured that they are both boring. So I might just as well pair them up together. So yeah, they are together now. Because the usual pairing for AJ, Lola, ended up with somebody else. That we will get to later, by the way. Somebody's crying, by the way. Wait. He's maybe going to get him. Okay, I bet he will. Let's continue. Yeah, I didn't take any screenshots of his shitty tent, but as I said before, I took photos with my phone for some reason. That was his first little house that he built. I not going to lie. I think AJ is fucking boring. I did not want to play that sim. I didn't know what to do with him. So I just figured I'm going to make him a rags to riches sim. That I'm just going to play with him like I'm playing rags to riches. For a while at least, because like this house, he didn't just earn that money from working and having a business. No fucking way. I cheated some of their money. Not just this family, but yeah. I cheat a lot when I play. And I don't mind. I don't care. The game's challenging anyway, for me at least. Yeah, that's another picture of their house. Their house, because Kristen like moved in there at some point. Basically, the team is that for some reason Chloe, who is pictured here, ended her beef with Erin only to start beef with Kristen. Like, this woman needs somebody to torment. AJ kinda felt bad for Kristen. Like, they were dating, he didn't know about this situation, and then he learned that her roommate is tormenting her. And he was like, God damn it, I feel kind of bad for her. So they like engaged relatively quickly, and they got married relatively quickly. And I figured that maybe that's why their relationship won't last, on top of their goals being different, but that ended up changing. His first business, Colony Drone. His first and only business, by the way, was him selling toys and like baby necessity items. And it was inspired by, first of all, the fact that he has a huge interest in toys. So I figured, you can sell toys and entertainment, right? So I figured, maybe he's selling toys for kids and like opens a business. So that's why he opened that business. Those are their twins. I didn't even make them have twins. They just decided that they are going to pop out twins. It's not that bad. So far, the only pair of twins is Vitkon's alien kids and these two. And like Vitkon's kids were actually planned to be twins. So this is like showing him kind of concerned more with his job than with, his family. He cared about his family. He had a good relationship with his kids and his wife, but he was just a busy man, That just happened. When you have a business and a career, as a CEO, by the way, you're gonna be busy probably. Yes, he decided to close that business and spend more time with his family, and basically that's the story. Because even in their bio, in Kristen's bio, it says that, Strangetown is only a pit stop on her track to greatness. Like, she didn't care about this town. He was kind of, his description just says that he likes to count grains of sand, but yes,
Gas Queen, Skinny Legend, Versace boots the house down. Slay Queen.
yes, he's boring. I figured that she was the one who wasn't very interested in this town at first. Jesus. This guy did not decide to put that kid out of its misery. Let Vivek out, yeah. Let you do that. If your fucking butler doesn't want to. What I was about to say. Anyways. Originally, she was the one who wasn't really interested in living here. Like, she didn't care. And he was the one who was, like, captivated, kind of, by this little town. But, what happened? God damn it. My game crashed, I think. If the recording survives, give me a moment. Okay, so, it wasn't a crash, and honestly, like, this game never crashes for me. I heard that it crashes for people, but usually it doesn't crash for me, so I was quite surprised when that happened. But it wasn't a crash, it was like a very big lag. And it corrupted the ending of my previous recording, so... But I think it's pretty much harmless. So I'm not that worried about it. I also took that kid out of the crib. Now I can show you their clothes, because they are obviously custom content. And they are very cute. She's Indira. I don't know if I mentioned their names even. Indira's outfit is a pink bat. Vivek's is Dino PJs. I totally just named him Vivek because of the Elder Scrolls, by the way. As I was saying before I was interrupted rudely by this game, Kristen is the one who didn't really care for that city that much, and AJ was kind of captivated by it, and it kind of ended up being a different way, because he got bored with this town. Basically he wanted to explore more like business opportunities, maybe buy some business, move out of the town, and like he said that to Kristen because he knew like that she didn't really care for that town that much, and he thought it's going to be rather easy to convince her, but it turned out I think it's this lot that has some issues. Oh Jesus Christ. You know what, I think I'm just going to pause that game for the rest of this segment, because this lot is, I think it's just laggy. It's kind of terrible in general, because as I said before, sims get overheated here, it's weird. But it's really pretty, so I don't know what's going on. And I'd rather not exchange it. But as I was saying again, he thought it would be easy to convince her, but he was wrong. And it turned out that Kristen actually is content in this city, although at this point her only friend is Erin, because the game bugged and Lola stopped being her friend for some reason. Relationships resetting in this neighborhood is like a common thing for some reason. Like, I don't think it's a game feature. I don't think it's because she got furious with her or anything. She would have still had, like, her best friend token if that happened. That relationship just completely reset. I don't know why. I gave some lore explanations that maybe they just stopped talking or something, but I don't know. After AJ just sacrificed his business to be with his family and his wife. Like, so they don't have to separate because of their different desires. Like, she just decides, you know what, let's just move out of this town. That would be kind of brutal. They could sell this house. Maybe live on a smaller lot for a while, like, buy some bigger business. This family's story is also not really set in stone very much. And perhaps it's nice sometimes. And I don't know, I think I'm just going to leave that here, because that whole thing with the game lagging is annoying. I'm gonna move on to another segment now. Well, that will be all for this part of this video. There will be part 2 coming, but since college is starting for me soon, very soon, maybe it even started already if I post it late, that will make editing all of this harder, because It's the part 2 is already recorded, but the problem is the editing. Takes a lot of time. Especially since I added some new elements to these videos. Pseudo webcam thing. Like, this takes a lot of time to animate, but I like the addition of it because it helps me emote way better. I would like to change my mascots' outfits every video, but I'm not going to do that probably for the next video. It's not that important, but well, because I need to save time, yeah. So well, we have touched on some things relating the Smith family, the Grunt family, but we still haven't looked at the main Curious household. We still have to look at the Pickers, and well, there's many more to come. So stay tuned for the next part, and see you around later. I hope you enjoyed.